up, down, left, right, A and start. It's time for another episode of This Game Where, with myself, Chris, and
Ashley!
Who winced at that.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
No.
They're all good.
No. They're all good. What I'm wondering is what happens when we get to episode 50. How many of them have we got?
I am already scraping the barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could tell.
That was a Sonic reference, just so you know.
Say it again.
Up, down, left, right, A and start. Sonic 1, level select.
Oh, right, okay. That sounds like a botched version of the Konami code.
The Konami code is on the list for a future episode.
Great. Okay, what episode's that? Next episode?
Yeah, next one I do.
Okay.
So how are you, Ashley?
Yeah, I'm alright. I don't know if the viewers want to know how I am or why are you asking me how I am.
Well, you're supposed to be asking a question now, aren't you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we could maybe just do a chat about not games today. Maybe we could just talk about you and me.
No, that'd be really boring. Especially on This Game Where podcast.
That's true. Okay. Chris.
Yes. Hello.
You were supposed to bring something for us to play today.
I have.
Do you want to tell us what you've brought?
Yeah. Using the parameters of the podcast.
Yeah.
Alright then. So, this week, I have brought This Game Where you play as a sidekick.
I'm not interrupting you. Is that all you've given?
No, I'm leaving dramatic pauses.
Oh, no.
I should have probably said what console it's for as well, actually. That's probably quite important. Okay, so, it came out on the Game Gear. It was released in 1995. It's this game where you play as a sidekick. It is an action RPG platformer. You go around picking up items. To be honest, I don't know if you know this game. You look very perplexed.
I don't know it, but it might just be that you don't know how to describe things, so...
Yeah. Apple, like a...
Are you trying to perplex me? Are you trying to keep it from me, or are you trying to clarify?
I don't really know.
You don't know.
I'm using This Game Where.
I know, yeah, I know.
I'm doing a really bad job of it, aren't I?
Not a bad job, no.
Doing a job.
You're doing a job.
Yeah. Do you want to say what the game is?
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
No. So, it's called Tales' Adventure.
Right. No, I don't know that. Is that Sonic's Tales?
It is. Sidekick.
Right. Okay, and it was for the Game Gear.
It was.
Okay, because you are one of the only fans of the Game Gear that still exist. That are still alive today.
I don't know if I'm a fan of it. No, I suppose I am.
You used to keep your Game Gear in a drawer next to you while you were at work.
I did, yeah. Because it was a good thing to play on. So this was...
hang on. No.
It was a good little blast from the past.
Right, okay. I can maybe accept
nostalgia.
That. It was never a good thing to play on.
No. And so, just to give some context to the Game Gear, it was quite famously Sega's rival to the Game Boy. I got my Game Gear for my 8th birthday, so that'd be July 1994, and I can remember going on holiday, and it was, so it had the colour screen, took it on holiday, sat in the back of the car playing it.
And your car broke down because the battery went out.
I don't know. I'll see what you did then. But 6 AA batteries, how long do you think they would last?
Half an hour.
Longer than half an hour?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't longer than half an hour.
An hour and a half.
Oh, well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't half.
Half an hour?
It was half an hour, yeah.
For 6 AA batteries?
Yeah.
Crikey.
Yeah, because it was... You said it was famously the rival to the Game Boy.
Yeah.
It was famously...
famously tried to be the rival to the Game Boy.
It was famously the biggest battery drain of the decade, maybe the century. It ate batteries like...
Pac-Man.
Yeah, it eats cookies or whatever they are.
Disco pills.
Disco pills?
Yeah.
That's not what they are.
No. I don't even think that's a phrase. I just made that up.
I think disco... You're not smart enough to make up disco pills.
Thanks. So
Yeah, you were saying about how you took
I had the Game Gear
on holiday.
And then when I moved house, I found the Game Gear and I brought it into work. This was, let me think, 15 years after first buying it, 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
And I had it with the power adapters plugged into the wall.
Yeah,
and I remember in the office that you and I worked in, really struggling to play on it because of the bright office lights, having to hold it at a stupid angle so I could actually see the screen.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair to the Game Gear, that was the same for any handheld.
Was it really?
Yeah, for a long time. I think the DS still had a problem with...
Oh, okay.
Even the DS was backlit. No, the original DS. Was it backlit?
I've no idea. Never had one.
Well, I've got one somewhere, but I'm not going to run around looking for it. But I distinctly remember... I bought my DS in 2006 because I was going to look at universities. And I thought it would be a good thing to play on the train.
That's fair enough.
Turns out it wasn't that good a thing to play on the train because I had the same glare problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think we can bash it for a lot more things than
the screen.
glare
Yeah.
on the screen. That wasn't his worst problem. His worst problem was that you couldn't play more than half an hour.
I got a shonky one as well.
What do you mean?
Game Gear.
Yeah, I knew what you meant there.
Yeah. So,
I mean, explain.
I can't remember the problem. So, I got it for my 8th birthday, and for some reason or another, it didn't work properly. I can't remember what the problem was, but I remember my dad taking it back to, they got it from Curry's, the chain of electronics stores in England.
Yeah.
Is it still around? Curry's?
Yeah, Curry's PC World.
Oh, it merged in Curry's PC World. And I can remember my dad then coming back with the Game Gear saying, "Oh, we've got your new one," because the guy in the shop said it was a pirated one. And
Pirated?
yeah. So how it ended up in the Curry shipment, I don't know. I suspect it was...
I think the man didn't know what he was talking about.
I think the man probably didn't know what he was talking about. But the second one I got, the non-pirated inverted commas, it did come up with a little warning at the start that said, "Oh, this is an official Sega product," and that came up regardless of what game you played. The first one I played never came up with that warning, so maybe it was a pirated one.
Okay, but even now, they don't make... I mean, hardware was expensive to make. Most hardware at that point was sold at a loss.
Yeah.
So why would anybody bother pirating a piece of hardware?
I've got no idea. But riddle me Ree, why did the warning screen come up on the second one and not the first one?
Riddle me Ree?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I wasn't there. We're not brothers.
We're not.
No.
There you go. Just a little anecdote.
It's not quite as bad as my PlayStation, though, is it?
No, that was a new low.
Yeah, did you...
Because the Game Gear did work. I can't remember why Dad had to take it back. So
did you throw your toys out the pram?
Maybe.
Daddy, it doesn't tell me it's an official product!
That does sound like me.
It does sound like you.
Okay, so I got the Game Gear. So I got the Game Gear for my 8th birthday, July 1994. Tales Adventure came out in October 1995 in the EU. So I must have got it, I think, for Christmas 1995.
Sorry about that.
It's alright.
I was yawning.
Because of my riveting Game Gear anecdote.
Maybe we should say, this is the first time we've recorded in the morning. What are we now? We're just gone 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and usually we do these
of an evening,
going into the early evening. So this doesn't feel right.
It doesn't, does it?
No, and I keep yawning because I was up before 8 o'clock. So on a Sunday as well, of all things. I offered actually 5 o'clock, didn't I?
You did, and
I said you could come around at 5. Yeah, I don't blame you, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, because I'd be up at 4 o'clock.
You'd be outside, I'd still be in bed.
Yeah.
So. What were you saying?
So I'm talking about Tales Adventure.
I'll try not to yawn.
So when I was looking into this, I had a little bit of a revelation with this game. Because, and I'm going to use this term even though I hate it, it is a Metroidvania.
Is it really?
It really is.
Right, okay.
So I said action RPG platform because in my head that was what it was. And I thought about it a little bit when I was reflecting on the game, and I had this sort of light bulb moment and realised it's a Metroidvania.
So if I said to you, if I say Tails then is going around an open-ish world that is somewhat labyrinthine, and he is finding different power-ups that then unlock different areas of the game.
In previously explored areas.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you do. So it's a
Metroidvania.
I know. Starring Tails the Fox on the Game Gear in 1995. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
If Sonic had been a Metroidvania, it might be a good game.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that's why they chose Tails, because he was in the game, which you will see later on.
He's a bit slower.
He is really slow, but he's got this lovely walking animation. He sort of gambles along a bit, sort of plods. It's really, the animation he goes through is really lovely.
Okay.
But the light bulb moment for me was because this was a Metroidvania, or is a Metroidvania, or roguelike, because I don't like that word, Metroidvania.
Well, roguelikes and Metroidvanias are different.
Are they? I thought the same thing.
No. A Metroidvania is what I've just explained.
Right.
What I've described. A roguelike is a game where you die multiple times and gradually sort of beat yourself up as you go.
Like Super Meat Boy?
No. Super Meat Boy is a platform. Very cool platformer.
With lots of
Have you played Rogue Legacy?
No. I remember you talked about it in the Gremlins 2.
I mentioned it, didn't I? Yes. Rogue Legacy, you are a knight, and you venture into this castle, and the castle is procedurally generated, but there will be the same bosses, the same enemies. And you fight those enemies, and you collect up gold, and you then eventually, at some point, die.
Right.
And the game takes you back to the beginning. At which point, it gives you the opportunity to purchase little power-ups.
Oh, okay.
And in Rogue Legacy, there's like a chart of power-ups, and it goes up a castle. If you've played it, that makes sense. If you haven't, don't worry about it. Go have a look.
Well, I've not played it, and this sounds pretty good from what you just described.
Yeah, so you might get a power-up that is for a certain set of weapons, because you can also collect weapons in the castle when you fight the enemies, they drop weapons. So you might get a broadsword power-up that gives you 5% on broadswords, or you might get a piece of magic. You might be able to unlock a piece of magic, buy a piece of magic that you can use on your next iteration of the castle.
Right.
So you start off quite weak. You will only get 2 or 3 rooms into the castle. Maybe more than that if you're a bit better than Chris. But
it's not really saying much.
You then power up on your next one. You might get 3.5 rooms in.
Right.
And then over the course of maybe 50 runs, you will become so powerful that you can get to the end of the castle, you can beat the boss.
Does it not get tedious doing the first
not Rogue Legacy. So everyone last year, I don't know if you have played, I don't think you have played it, and I wouldn't recommend it, but Dead Cells?
No.
So Dead Cells and Hollow Knight came out similar sort of times. Certainly people were talking about them at similar sort of times. And I played Hollow Knight first. Loved it. Thought it was brilliant. And then played Dead Cells. And Dead Cells has got a roguelike element to it because you have this power-up system where you can, you use the dead cells that you collect as a currency to buy power-ups for your weapons. Dead Cells, it's in some ways Dead Cells is a good game, but in other ways it's not very good because the actual progression feels a bit meh. Whereas in Rogue Legacy...
Technical term, meh.
Meh is a technical term in this case, yeah.
Right.
In Rogue Legacy, it took me several hours to sort of push my way through the castle. In Dead Cells, I got through the game my first time on normal setting. I got through the game, beat the end boss within 5 hours, less than.
Right.
And I never felt like I wanted to go at it again.
Right.
Whereas with Rogue Legacy, it was compulsive. Do you remember when you were playing Gremlins, actually, you had that moment where you were like, I said, do you want to stop now? And you said, no, I want to. Yeah. That's what Rogue Legacy was like. I had it on the PS Vita and on the PlayStation. I had cross saves.
Right.
So if Hannah was watching telly, I'd be on the PS Vita, sort of having a go. And then as soon as Hannah came off the telly, I was
straight to the telly.
On the telly, having a go. And it was weeks and weeks and weeks where I didn't play anything else. I just played Rogue Legacy.
Wow.
There's another one called Flint Hook, which was pretty good as well. Generally, I like roguelikes.
Which I've learned are different from Metroidvanias.
They are very different.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm playing through Hollow Knight at the moment.
Yeah, Metroidvania.
And I'm really enjoying it. And having looked back at Tales of Adventure, like I said for me, I was like light bulb moment thinking, oh my goodness, I played the same structure of game, what we're on now, 25 years earlier. That's 24 years earlier, which I thought was odd. I know we said not odd. That's the wrong word. We said previously on the Discord
Metroid
episode.
probably Metroid predate.
Oh yeah, but I didn't have a SNES, so I didn't play that.
No.
My point is, that I said on the Discord episode about how I had these furrows of games that I ploughed and really enjoyed them. And for me, it was because I thought Hollow Knight was a new type of game for me.
Yeah.
And then I realised actually no, it wasn't. It was a game structure that I played years and years
back
earlier.
Yeah.
But the only reason I played that game, Tales of Adventure, previously was because of Tales. I've said before about how much I loved Sonic. Specifically, I was really, really into, maybe the wrong word, into Tales. I think it was because of the underdog.
No, I think that's the right word.
That's the right word, isn't it?
You
not in like a weird way.
You're still weirdly way into Tales.
I just thought he's a cool little guy.
Yeah.
I think it's the underdog aspect.
You should see his face now.
Lit up with glee.
Yeah.
So it's a whole game.
Disgustingly so.
No, not weirdly so. Have you seen some of the Sonic fanfiction online, though? There is some weird stuff out there. So, yes, I do like Tales, but not quite to the extent that some other people like Tales.
Do. Right.
Yeah.
Well, like what?
Like erotic fiction.
Right, okay.
Between Sonic and Tails.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That happens with everything, though, doesn't it?
It does.
You can't... I don't think there's any property that exists, intellectual property, that exists that doesn't have porn of it.
Toy Story.
No, I bet you a tenner that has porn.
Oh, that's...
I bet you a tenner. We will... Unfortunately,
no, can we not?
We'll check.
It's not going to scar me.
Yeah, we will. We won't.
Innocent and literally childlike as Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think everything. Probably everything.
I don't like this conversation.
If you think... No, I think maybe we shouldn't go too far into it.
Yeah.
But if you think about things like Barbie and Ken, they are taken as like by adults. Like maybe sometimes you find a person who has done themselves look like Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is
I guess
clear signs that people fetishise and sexualise the children's media.
I don't like this at all.
Why?
It's scarring me.
Well, I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying it exists.
You seem to know an awful lot about it.
Well.
Just saying. Shall I talk some more about Tales of Adventure?
Please.
Okay. So you said earlier when you outlined what your understanding of the Metroidvania is, it's pretty much what I've jotted down here about the game. It has got the...
Where did you figure out? At what point did you figure out that it was a Metroidvania?
Because I'm playing Hollow Knight at the moment, and you said about it being a Metroidvania, a genre I'd not really played before, because I didn't have a SNES, I didn't play Metroid, it's not something that really floated my boat, but I played Hollow Knight at your house, didn't I, here, and really enjoyed it, so I bought it, and I'm enjoying it at home at the moment. So it was then reflecting back on Tales of Adventure made me think, oh, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was recently, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's when I was getting...
okay.
The fact I realised it was a Metroidvania was when I was preparing for this podcast.
Right.
I did some preparation.
Excellent.
So well done me. So it has got the RPG elements you said about. It's got a map screen, so you can choose where to go within the game.
Yeah, they're always useful.
Yeah.
Again, this is in danger of becoming a Hollow Knight episode, but I really like what Hollow Knight does with the map. The fact that it gives you it as a support, but then you have to fill it all out. You only get a portion of each.
I do find it frustrating that you can't just bip about easily. You can't, I'm here, I need to get to here, I'm there straight away.
No
you have to
travel.
Traverse through. I do find that annoying at times.
Don't you think that that's a good... I like that part of the game. It makes you very familiar with the...
I like
with the terrain, with the level.
I think I've been spoiled by Breath of the Wild, where
You've been spoiled by lots of games. So many games let you skip around.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild is the one I've played most recently, where it lets you skip around using that phrase. And I think Hollow Knight, because it doesn't have that, and
Have you ever not skipped around in Breath of the Wild, though? Maybe called your horse instead and from one end of the place to the other? I
played Breath of the Wild as very much, I'm doing this thing, I never really sort of wandered about. Having completed the game, I've still played it, and that is what I do now, just wander about and take it in. But actually completing the game, playing the game, that's not how I played it particularly.
Okay. When I played it,
You soaked it up?
Yeah, I tried to as much as I could. I tried not to do any skipping about. Not no fast travel. If I really couldn't be asked to walk somewhere, I would get in the fast travel bus.
So if you're over in the top left of the map, where it's the snowy mountains, and you need to get down to the bottom right corner, where you've got the beach and there's the that area that was tropical jungle with rain. Yeah. You'd fast travel that?
I probably would. Right. But equally, how often did you ever need to do that?
Oh no, it's just...
Like specifically go from there to there. It was usually, for me at least, it was open up your map, look at what is there, think, oh, that looks interesting over there. I'm going to go over there. And usually I was looking at the area immediately surrounding me. So there were no straight lines in my Breath of the Wild playthrough anyway. And did you ever get the DLC?
No, I've looked at it a few times and just thought, I don't know.
Well, the DLC's good.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to
know. It also gives you this little tool on the map that will chart a line drawing of your entire journey from start to finish.
So if I've got the DLC now, would it then...
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, it's all recorded, I guess.
Wow.
In the normal game. And it's brilliant to watch, actually.
Yeah.
It will be blipping around, sort of... for anyone that's listening to this and not in my front room at the moment, I'm wiggling my finger around in a random pattern.
Yeah, with a very
and show
manic look on your face.
What people's... With panic look. Try and show what it looks like when this line is showing you where you've been.
Yeah.
It sort of, for a while, it'll work around this tiny little area when you're doing maybe a dungeon. What are they called?
Shrine.
A shrine. I was thinking of the Divine Beast. That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
So, like in a Divine Beast, you might wiggle around for a little while, maybe an hour or two, and then it'll just go, whoop, like that over somewhere else.
Right.
And you'll wiggle around, and then you'll die, and every time you die, it goes, ah! Like that, in Link's voice. It's...
Really?
Yeah, it's great. I'll show you it after.
I will show you it. See that.
It's really good. It is really good. I might have to power up the Wii U though, because I played it all the way through on the Wii U.
You and about 3 other people in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. On Tales of Adventure, the map does have things appear during the course of the game. So you might do one area and then something will appear on the map because you've completed that area, if I remember rightly. I'm sure that happens. It has got the items after bosses or lying around in the game. So you mentioned power-ups. Yeah, that's like what it's got. You'd be wandering around, you find a power-up, you pick up, I can now go back to this previous area, I can get through this obstacle or whatever.
I think that's what I like about Metroidvania.
And that's what I enjoyed about Tales of Adventure. The power-ups, there's a fairly limited number of them. I can't remember what number exactly, but there were some quite special ones that linked to Sonic mythology, for want of a better word. So there was a Sonic power-up that was Sonic, and it could let you spin dash.
Right, yeah.
There was one that was Knuckles that could let you then punch through walls. There was another one that was Fang the Weasel. Do you know him?
Yeah, so you see, you're getting into...
It gets into... So he was
when was Fang the Weasel
Fang the Weasel. He was also called Knack. I'm not really sure why. So he was in Sonic Triple Trouble, which is a platformer on the Game Gear. And he was a bounty hunter or treasure hunter, something like that.
Did Triple Trouble come out for the 32X as well? Or,
that was
or the
Chaotix.
CD? Oh, Chaotix. Yeah, okay. Chaotix, that introduced some of the characters that have then become staples in huge games. Like Amy? Was Amy in Chaotix?
Amy was Sonic CD.
Okay.
Sonic CD was... You had... there was Mighty the Armadillo.
I think Mighty was in Chaotix as well.
Yeah, he was in Chaotix, yeah. There was the Crocodile, Vector. There was Espio the Chameleon.
Vector was in... Oh, the Bee?
That was the Bee.
Yeah, he's in Chaotix.
I can't remember what his name was.
I can't remember. Chaotix is terrible. Have you played Chaotix?
I tried playing it once and played it for about 10 minutes, and that's as a
hardcore
Sonic fan. Not
hardcore.
Not in that way.
Not in that way.
No. Fang the Weasel, or Knack the Weasel, was this treasure hunter, I think, not a bounty hunter. And when you had that item equipped, the enemies then dropped more rings, which was the same as Sonic. It was your health essentially. So I liked how the power ups linked to the Sonic.
Yeah.
Mythology, not the right word. Canon.
No, that's mythology or canon. I think they're both probably wrong, but we'll go with them.
Yeah, we'll go with them. You could only take certain items with you. You can only equip 4 at a time. So
Choices.
Exactly, there's the choice elements, and some of the reviews...
Presumably, though, actually, thinking about it, you are going to choose, in the same way that you would in Zelda games, you're going to choose the items that matter to the particular area you're in.
Well, you might be playing through an area and then get to a bit and, I need this type of bomb, because in the game Tails throws bombs to get through. There's all different types of bomb. So you then have to then back out of the area to then go back into it. And you're pulling a bit of a face at that. A few of the reviews I read about it said that was very clunky.
Yeah, tedious.
Yeah. And with the Game Gear only having, I think it only had 2 buttons. Yeah, it did only have 2 buttons, button 1 and button 2. I can't think of any other consoles that had buttons labelled numerically.
Yeah, NES.
Did it? Of course it did. Yeah. Because nowadays they're all... and
the Wii.
Oh, yeah. So, a couple of other ones then.
Yeah, possibly others.
I thought it was unique.
That's just off the top of my head.
So you only had the 2 buttons, and one made you jump, one made you use whatever item you had equipped. So the way to get around that, to choose different items, you have to pause the game, and then cycle through the items, and then unpause the game,
That's not bad. That happens with, again, Zelda, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time. You have to pause to go into the thing. You only have 2 items, I think, in Link to the Past, don't you?
Yeah,
I
guess so.
Point. So that doesn't sound so bad. It does sound bad that you have to backtrack out of an area
to go back into it
to grab something to then go back into the area.
Yeah, but I didn't mind most of the time.
Okay, did you finish this game?
Yes, multiple times. I really enjoyed it.
How long does it take you if you could?
On YouTube, there is a playthrough, a 100% playthrough that is 1 hour and 16 minutes.
Okay.
I don't think I ever completed it in that quick a time.
No, I imagine that is someone that knows the game very well.
Yeah.
Presumably you were good enough at it, though, you knew the areas, you knew what you needed.
I think playing it today is going to be quite the blast from the past again, go through, I remember this bit, if you go down here, there's this. I really think I'm going to have that, which I'm quite looking forward to, because I did enjoy this game a lot.
Yeah. This is the first Sonic game that we've played.
It is actually, isn't it? That's a good point.
Yeah.
And not an actual, in inverted commas, proper Sonic game. It's one,
a more
underground one.
Yeah.
It has been linked to that being underground one. It's been released a few times. It was included on Sonic Adventure DX as an unlockable.
Okay.
It was on the Sonic Gems collection.
Which one was that?
So there were 2 of these released in the early to mid 2000s. So Sonic Mega Collection was the first one, which was the Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles. I think for Sonic CD as well. The Sonic Gems Collection, which was really weird because Gems and Mega are practically the same letters, just
same as Mega and Super.
So why didn't they go with the Sonic Super Collection?
Yeah, they should have.
They should. Gems, isn't it? Chaos Emeralds. I always assumed it was a link to that. And arguably on Sonic Gems Collection, not all gems, because these are...
No.
This is when it's more scraping the barrel. It was 3-player on this game, Sonic Gems Collection, that I really got into Dr. Ron's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh.
That's a great game.
It's not that good, though, is it?
It is.
How? I mean, unless I'm missing something about Mean Bean Machine, it's just a colour matching game.
It is.
Similar to Dr. Mario. Had you not thought of that before?
I hadn't, and you've stymied me now.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because I think Dr. Mario came before.
I think it did, yeah. Mean Bean Machine was themed around the cartoon, wasn't it?
Was it really? I don't know. I used to love that cartoon. Was it the one with the chili dogs?
Yeah. The more zany one of the two.
It's funny how whenever they cartoonify these products, these brands, Mario's or Sonic, or Link is the really good one that is in my head at the moment. They have to have like the little quirky weird things, don't they?
So what did Link have that was quirky and weird?
Do you not remember?
I never watched it.
You're going to make me say it.
Yeah.
He would...
What was he
had a
into?
catchphrase.
Oh.
Do you not remember his catchphrase?
Can I guess what it was?
Yeah.
I'm the master of
No,
this.
you're not going to get it. If you don't know, then...
Master Shield.
No, that's rubbish.
That's quite good.
I immediately, as you started talking, I thought, you don't know. You've never seen this cartoon, have you? You'll know it as soon as I say it. I'll just say it. He goes, excuse me, princess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you not seen that?
Listen,
he's like a really snarky
say.
Link. Yeah, exactly like that.
So why do they make Link say
because,
that?
I don't know, they seem to hand off the games to people that just didn't understand.
Right, just want to churn out.
To be fair, I really liked the Sonic cartoons. I used to watch them on Saturday mornings and things. And the Chili Dogs thing kind of fits in with the whole 90s.
Yeah, it does.
And being super cool or whatever.
As says, excuse me, princess.
Yeah, but it doesn't really
fit the character.
No, it doesn't fit
if it's the time.
Yeah, even then it's a little bit shonky. They were much better though.
Is it on Netflix or anything like that?
No, I don't think it is yet. But they are making on Netflix a Zelda live action series.
Really?
Did you not know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they were talking about that last year.
Wow.
And I'm fairly certain that it's still happening.
Are your hopes high or not?
I think that Nintendo now have got a far better grasp on what they're trying to deliver from all of their characters. And therefore, they will produce it to the nth degree. They will produce it to within an inch of its life.
Nothing like the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
No, exactly. I tried putting that on the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How far did you get?
20 minutes. Very far. I'll keep this as brief as possible, but basically, we had Middle Christmas, which we called Middlemas. Have I told you about this?
Half Christmas.
Half Christmas.
My mum used to do half Christmas.
Did she really?
June 25th. Did a little Christmas dinner.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. We did the same thing. Right. It was because Hannah's Nana. Hannah, for anyone, because I've called her my wife before, but now I've called her Hannah several times. Hannah is my wife for future reference.
There we go.
Hannah's Nana at Christmas last year, she said at one point, why do we just do this once a year?
That's exactly what my mum said. She said, why do we do this once a year? Let's do it halfway through the year as well, and that's why half Christmas.
Well, we did.
I'm going to trademark that now in case other people
Well, I've trademarked Middlemas. I made Middlemas songs.
Middlemas is better.
Middlemas. Yeah. I made Middlemas songs. I took normal Christmas songs and I bleeped out the words Christmas and replaced them with Middlemas. I also did...
This thing a psychopath would do.
I was doing it for fun.
What about references to snow? What did you change that to? Sun. Oh no.
So I'll tell you what I did with one of them.
What does Snowman become then? A Sunman?
Sunman. Yeah. So you know that song that goes, "When the snowman brings the snow." Yeah. It goes, "When the sun man brings the sun," like that.
No, I
know that it's dodgy, but the context is that I was bringing joy to other people.
Joy, confusion.
No, they loved it. Do you know what else I did? I got the Queen's speech.
Oh, no.
I recorded my own version of the Queen's speech over her voice.
Well, that says a lot about you, doesn't it? What was in your speech?
I talked about Prince Philip crashing his car.
Okay, satire, good.
Yeah, I said about how they have men to deal with that and Philip should have just carried on driving. I talked about the peasants.
I'm not...
I ridiculed the peasants because they didn't have as nice Christmas baubles as me, the Queen.
What did...
People loved it. I grabbed a set of television programmes, Christmas television programmes from the 90s. So I had the Generation Game Christmas special.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the Gladiators Christmas special as well, which had celebrities on it, including Vinnie Jones, who started on Wolf. They had a fight.
The footballer?
Vinnie Jones, the footballer.
Yeah, sorry, the actor.
For the younger people, Vinnie Jones, the actor. The actor.
Yeah. He was on X-Men, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was Juggernaut.
Yeah, that was it.
Was it just the one X-Men?
Yeah, he was in X-Men 3.
He had that really rubbish line that everybody likes to quote. I think it's, Was it, I'm the Juggernaut? Or something like that.
Good impression.
Was it?
So he started on Wolf because that's his thing, isn't it? Being a hard man.
Yeah.
How did I go down with Wolf?
I think it was all a bit put on.
Right.
A lot of Gladiators was put on.
Yeah.
We are way away from Tales of Adventure.
We really are.
The point is, Middlemas, everyone should do it. The Australian
Did you do
expats-
turkey?
Yeah, I did. I got a turkey thigh because I didn't want to go way over.
Yeah.
I got a little turkey
yes.
thigh.
That's after the Queen's speech and your bleeping CDs or whatever. That's not going
I'm going to play you some.
far.
I'm going to play you some.
Please don't.
I am going to play you some. This is the best thing I did. I did a whole rendition of Walking in the Air.
Right.
With just me singing it.
In the high pitch.
In a high pitched voice. It was good. The point is, I brung joy. I brung joy to the world. There you go. Tales of Adventure.
So Tales of Adventure was on the Sonic Gems collection in the mid-90s, in the mid-noughties, and it also came out on the 3DS in 2013. So I would imagine, for those people that still have a 3DS, it's still out there.
Do you not have a 3DS?
Yes, I have mine. I can't remember last time I played it, though. Years
Me
ago.
neither. No. That maybe was... I don't think it was a mistake. There were some good games. Luigi.
Oh, there's some great games
Yeah.
on the 3DS.
I nearly called it a mistake, but I was correcting myself before I did it.
It's superseded. It was superseded, wasn't it, by the Wii U and the Switch, which tried to have a slice of that pie.
You mean because of the
pie.
handheld or dual screen?
Yeah, not the dual screen so much.
Well, Wii U had dual screens.
What do you mean?
The Wii U had dual screens. You had a big telly screen.
Yeah,
and that's generally the way that they used the Wii U. They had inventories on the second screen. Some games didn't do it that way. Zelda famously didn't do it that way. They were supposed to. They weren't.
So it's on 3DS. I would recommend playing it still. I think it'd be nice to have a go at it now and just see if that memory is still true.
We can do that.
Shall we have a go at it?
We'll have a go now.
Let's have a go at
now.
it then.
Okay.
Okay, we have now played through a bit of Tales of Adventure. Quite a bit of Tales of Adventure, actually. What do you think of it?
I again, as seems to be the case with all the games that you choose, I quite liked that. It was a pleasant surprise because I don't really like or rate Sonic games.
Which has been a bit of a bone of contention with us over the past.
You love Sonic games, don't you? Yeah,
I really do.
We can talk about that eventually when we get to Sonic, I guess, because I don't think I'm wrong. But, you know,
whereas I think you are very wrong.
The thing about Tales of Adventure is it's not really a Sonic game in the traditional mould.
I think that's why it's good that they have Tails as the star, as the sidekick.
I would have loved to see Sonic do that. I like the fact that they've tried to round out Tails and give him his own game, his own path to walk, but I would have also liked to see Sonic iterate on its design.
But it was very slow, wasn't it? And would Sonic have fitted that game?
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
At all.
So that's why they chose Tails.
Yeah, no, you're right. You are right on that.
Yeah.
Definitely, completely right in that sense. It wouldn't have fitted the tone, but to see a Sonic Metroidvania might be an interesting.
That would be an interesting to look for
play
in the future, possibly.
Yeah. I did wonder, and I'm probably wrong about this, but I said to you while I was playing, almost immediately actually, the game is level based rather than being sort of an open world that you traverse from one end to the other.
It's got a map screen, so it's not an open world in that sense, but there is a map that you go to levels from.
Yeah.
So not a traditional open world.
But at the same time, it does have those elements that are Metroidvania, like the fact that you will grab an item, get an item, be bestowed an item, that then allows you to go back to previous levels that you played and get to places that you never could get to before. So the one that I got and had a good play with was the napalm bombs. That in the first level, almost immediately, I came up on some grass that I couldn't get through. The napalm bomb, you go back to that level, you can get through the grass, get to a new area of that level that you couldn't get to before.
Yeah.
And the robot as well had elements of that.
I just like how it does that. You've got those things there, and you make mental notes of them. Right, say to come back later. I like that.
I do as well. I think it's a really satisfying way to design a game. We've talked previously about exploration. Exploration it's just instinctively a really fun thing to be doing. Whether you're doing it on a television screen or out in the real world. Exploration. Have you ever heard of geocaching?
Yeah.
Yeah, so geocaching.
I've got a friend who, him and his partner, his wife, they when they first got together, they were really into geocaching. I think he hid, when he proposed to her, I'm sure there was something about how he hid the ring.
Which is quite
very risky. I think he did it, and this is years ago, about 10 years ago. I think he hid it, and then like went straight around to her house, like, right, we're going geocaching now. We've got to go now to this place.
Yeah, I can imagine the anxiety, like, oh god,
yeah.
What if someone's... Can you imagine if he turned up and she opened it and someone had signed the little note to say they'd got the ring?
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. It's a good way to do it, but high risk, definitely.
People still geocache.
Oh yeah, you can. Because there's an app associated with geocaching,
really?
So you can. There's somewhere around this area. I've had a little look. You can get a free version, or you can pay a monthly fee. And the only time I've geocached was when we had to go to Liverpool, me and my brothers.
Right.
And I took him geocaching around Liverpool.
In the middle of Liverpool?
Yeah, around the dock. Around King Albert Dock, whatever it's called. Albert Dock. Let's call it Albert Dock.
I should know because my wife's family are, her maternal side are all from Liverpool.
Are they? I didn't know that.
And yeah, the name escapes me now.
Yeah, I think it's Albert Dock. We won't be very cross me for not remembering. We were around the dock area.
It's really lovely around there. Where the Beatles Museum is.
That's right. We were around there. The first one that I think it was a travel lodge that we met him in.
I think I've stayed in the same travel lodge by the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've stayed there too.
Yeah. So that's where we stayed, and we met him there, and then we came out there, opened up the geocaching app, and followed one to a bench. We'd never done it before.
Right.
It was just a bench on next to the dock, looking over at the boat. We were being a bit coy about being seen to be geocaching.
Was the thing
because they call them muggles, don't they?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So geocaching, for anybody that doesn't know, because this is not necessarily.
Yeah, if you don't know, you listen to.
I'm going to relate it to the game. I will relate it to the game.
That'd be nice.
And explain why I brought it up. But geocaching is this pastime that people have where they go and they plant little boxes or caches in obscure places, and then other people go and find those boxes and they maybe write their name on a little note. Or I did find in one of them a little token.
Yeah, I was going to say, my understanding was that it's very trinket based. You might hide something, and then if you find something, you then take it, but then you replace it with something of your own.
You can do that. Some boxes are tiny little sort of big as your finger boxes, and they'll just have a little rolled up scroll that you put your name on to say that you found it. You can also go on a website and say, oh, I found this geocache. But others, they might be big boxes and they might have lots of little trinkets in, painted stones or whatever that you like. But this one, when we went, we found this bench and we didn't really know where it would be, but we also didn't want to crawl around on the floor looking for it.
No, that's
looked weird.
Understandable.
I ended up just going for it and found it under the bench. And actually,
so what was it like? Sellotape to the bottom of the bench?
It was magnet. It was a magnet. They put a magnet on the box and a magnet on the bench, and then you popped it. But it was tucked right behind the leg. And then, so that was the first one we found. And the feeling that you get from finding it is actually quite a nice one.
Is it dopamine, isn't it?
Yeah, bit of a dopamine hit.
Right.
The next one we found was, do you know where the arena is in?
No, I don't.
Okay, so there's a big arena in Liverpool, and it's right on the edge of the Mersey. And there's benches along the Mersey as well. And then there's a rail along the Mersey.
Right.
And on that rail that's along the Mersey are signs. It says don't swim or whatever. And this box was behind one of the signs. And when I got hold of this, when I got this box, got it open, there was a little token in it. We took this box, sat on a bench and had a little look, wrote our name on the scroll.
Right.
At the same time, some police pulled up behind us in a van.
Well, they're going to get you for geocaching.
We didn't know, because we'd never done it before. We didn't know. They seemed to be watching us. And we were just sat on a bench. But we had looked suspicious. Because I'd been crawling around underneath another bench, pulled out a box, put it back up there, and then I'd just gone behind this and got one from behind the sign.
Did they talk to you?
No, they didn't. They were just having their dinner in the end. But we sat on this bench, not moving, not putting the box back, not going somewhere else for about half an hour because we thought the police were after us. So, geocaching. Recommend it to anybody. It is.
So how in the blue blazes does this link to Tales' adventure?
So it's sort of like Metroidvania. It's the same dopamine hits that you're getting when you're finding new places in Metroidvania. Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
The fact you've got this, that means I can do this now.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
I think so, anyway.
That's good.
Is that tenuous?
No, I liked it. That was a good little bit of anecdote there.
All right, cool.
Thank you. And I think we've made it clear that to people listening now, I think we've explained the game enough for people to have a bit of a sense as to what the game is. Would you agree?
Possibly.
Keto Metroidvania, that's essentially what it is.
It is, except it's level-based.
Starring Tails. He looks really nice in this game, doesn't he? The animations.
He does. Can we just go back to the level-based thing?
No.
Because I said it twice.
Go on, then.
It's level-based. It's level-based, and that's the only odd thing that I've never come across with a Metroidvania, because usually they are sprawling, zoned areas, worlds, that you traverse from one end to the other, or could traverse from one to the other if you so wish.
Whereas the map on this makes it easier to bip about.
Yeah, but equally, does it?
I keep using that word, bip about. I don't think that's a word.
You've made it up, it works.
You understand what I mean?
I do, yeah.
Right, and he's got added to Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, we can, or the real dictionary.
Nah.
We know people.
Alex Swan did that. From Taskmaster.
Right.
He wrote a whole book about it called Word Watching, about how he's trying to invent a new word and get it into the OED.
Okay, did he succeed?
He went
his word?
He went on Countdown as well. This is a long time ago. He's written 2 books, and then he got rid of the Taskmaster, so he did one called Bird Watching. Or no, it's called, I'll rephrase that. It was called Bird Watching. It was about him and his dad. His dad's really into bird watching. Yeah. Going out and enjoying bird watching with his dad. And then the other one's called Word Watching, where he tried to get this word in, and he started off with, he came up with 10 words, I think, that he was trying to get, that he chose from, to try and get into the dictionary. One of them I still use, he said it was a family word, but I have heard other people use it as rootle. So if you're looking for something, rootling around
in the drawer. Yeah, I've heard that.
And then the one that he decided to go for in the end was the word honest, but to mean someone who was quite large. So Vanessa Feltz, surprisingly honest.
Oh, I don't like it.
You're down with that?
No.
I think the one he went for was Chris Moyles, because he found it quite amusing, the idea of honest having this double meaning.
I think he's working on a 3rd book.
Really?
Yeah.
He's in the Taskmaster book as well.
Oh no, I mean, sort of in the series. It's all about the underground areas in our country.
Right.
Like the sewers.
Okay,
he's got a whole chapter.
I can see where this is going.
He's got a whole chapter on how sewers are generally portrayed as green spaces.
Right.
And I think is it called turd watching? I think it's called turd watching.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, I think, because there's word watching, there's bird watching, and then the 3rd in the series is turd watching.
So the good thing with that is how I genuinely believed you until I kind of realised, oh yeah, that's been a mile off.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. I'm asserting that it's definitely true.
Right.
That's true.
He's writing a book called Turd Watching.
Yeah.
How do we answer that?
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
You asked me, I went back to levels, but you wanted to...
Making up words.
You wanted to move on, actually, to talk about how it looked, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I don't blame you, because it was a really nice looking game.
For a Game Gear game?
Yeah, well, not just for a Game Gear game, just for a game. They'd done a good job of the animations. And you got to see more character, actually, in Tails than you ever have in any other game before. Because usually it's just bumbling around after Sonic.
The flying, for example.
Yeah, I really liked the way that they showed how much energy he had left.
Yeah.
The thing is, you had the energy bar to show you, this is how much energy you've got left. But you didn't necessarily need to look at that, because there were 3 phases as he went from max energy to low energy.
So when obviously Tails flies in Sonic games, when you fly, at the start of the game, you have a little bit of energy that he can fly with, and straight away his default animation is exhausted because it doesn't have much energy. As you traverse through more of the game and collect more Chaos Emeralds, you get more energy, so he is able to fly for longer. And at the end of the game, when you've got as much energy as possible, his initial flying animation is really determined, he's frowning, his body...
He's got his tongue out, he's sort of sticking his tongue out like he's focused.
And then as the energy depletes, then goes to a fairly standard how he looks in the Sonic games, and then as the energy gets lower and lower, he's then starting to pant and looking really tired, and the way to see him visually go through those 3 levels of animation, it's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
So shall we talk a bit about the password system as well?
Yeah.
Clunky.
Yeah, not great, is it? I don't know that we made that much use, the right kind of use for it, because we had passwords pre-ready, didn't we? We lined up some passwords. One of the passwords was to unlock all the levels, so we could have a little bip around.
Thank you.
To get to the later levels.
But you did play a bit of the game before that, and then we used the password to unlock the rest of it.
Yeah, we had that one lined up. But the password system, by all accounts, you go back to the house and you can request a password at any point, and it will give you a code that then relates to the items you've got, the levels that are unlocked. So that kind of works. The problem that I have with it, and the problem that I have with passwords a lot of the time, is that this one, it was 16 characters long, putting in your credit card information.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
Oh.
It was too much. And on top of that, the way that you had to scroll through the letters and the numbers just takes a bit too long.
I also read online researching for this that there's a bug in the game where when you own the password string, you can't then back out of it if you typed an incorrect password or whatever. You should have said that. We should have had a test. You'd have to then turn the console off and on again.
That is rubbish.
It is rubbish.
Yeah.
But we found a few little bugs like that.
Well, there were a few
egregious bug, but there were some other ones, weren't there?
Yeah, the one that I found quite strange was that the UI, the HUD, was clipping behind some of the textures. So you would go into a tree trunk, as you were navigating through this tree trunk, all of your HUD would disappear behind the textures. Not great.
I'm sure that would have been noticed. That was in the first level.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who's testing that game?
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't be proud of that work.
Well, it was made by only 9 people, so maybe we could give them benefit of the doubt.
9 people?
Yeah, 9 people this one. 9 people with 7 people thanked.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding at all.
So it was 2 people, and then they thanked 7 people?
No, there were 9 people that made it,
okay.
and then they thanked 7 people on top of that.
Ah, right, okay. I don't know why.
No.
What did they deserve?
Lots of cups of tea. I'm going to stick without the thanks.
If they get thanks,
always
they just
making tea.
Tea makers. Yeah. Okay, I see.
In my head, that's how that works.
Were there any other bugs that we noticed? I don't think it was bugs so much that bothered me as it was the actual game design. It suffered in a few places from this idea of the devious developer that was around a lot of our sort of childhood games were developed in this way, where the developer was almost trying to thwart the player.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to give the player a fun experience. They were trying to challenge them. But sometimes that went beyond the pale.
Trying to throw you off deliberately.
Yeah, but yeah, in really devious ways. So what the first example of this in this game that I came across was this situation where it had a hole which you had to drop down into, but underneath the hole, you couldn't see the obstacles underneath the hole. There were some spikes and there were some safe platforms, but until you dropped down, you didn't know what was there.
No.
So that was an obvious and blatant example of the developer just being devious for the sake of being devious.
And there was a level where you were trying to traverse across a pit and fell down a hole in the pit, and it just threw out the level, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which was a really odd design choice.
I wasn't that far through the level, but even so...
It's in the principle of, I think it took you, I'd say 3 minutes to get there, because a little puzzle you had to solve to get there.
Yeah, there was,
and then you fell down through some bad platform.
Because I fell down a platform.
That seems a very strange choice.
Yeah, and actually, I didn't fall down by accident. I thought there might be something down there. Because there's this mismatch between when sometimes there is stuff down the holes and sometimes there isn't. And there's no telegraphing of that for the player. So you just have to see, you just have to throw yourself down. And then if they punish you by throwing you out the level, making you do it again, that's ridiculous. Especially when the exploration is the point.
Yeah.
So
the phrase you said, which I think is a really good one, was it was game designers learning their trade. Yeah. This is a game from 1995 when games in that sort of way hadn't been run very long. Nowadays, a game I don't think would make that decision. I think they're a lot more forgiving.
No game worth its salt these days would do that sort of thing to you. There are some that, I think that's totally right, actually. I was going to try and clarify a bit, but I think that's right. There are some games that are challenging, but they don't rely on the tricksterism that games tended to fall into. I don't know if this is unfair, but I sometimes think that it was games that didn't know what else to do with themselves to challenge the player. If you think about, I know this is a relatively modern game, but if you think about Super Meat Boy, which I think of as an excellent example of platforming at its best, because it's all very pinpoint,
precision
and precise. Yeah, very, very challenging, but equally very easy on the player, because all it does is put you back at the beginning of a level. Levels aren't massive, long, trawling things. So it's instant.
So you fail the level, you straight back at the start, aren't you?
Yeah. And it's not like being thrown out of the level, having to navigate through the system to get back into the level, and then having to do puzzles and things. It's very, very fast. Everything's very fast.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Tells himself his animation was lovely, But he walked so
No, that's not what I
slowly.
was getting at. What I was getting at was that
It's the puzzle having to then restart the whole
having
thing again.
having to do it all over again. Games wouldn't do that. Games now, they try and be masters of their genre instead of being tricksters, which is what this game is doing.
Yes.
In places. There was the other thing. This was developers maybe not necessarily knowing what else to do in a situation. There was, I don't know what it was, to be honest. Maybe you can explain it, or maybe someone else has an idea of why they did it, but there was a hole where you had to traverse over the hole, but if you tried to fly over the hole, this wind barrier stops you from flying, and then you drop down the hole into spikes. But you could jump over the hole. So it had given me this tool, which is an intrinsic part of the character, flying, and then arbitrarily at one point
In
it
this
just decides,
situation.
in this situation at this moment in time,
That.
you're not allowed to use it.
Yeah, it was odd.
It was a very strange decision, and I don't know why it didn't. I don't remember coming across it again either, so it wasn't a design.
There was that puzzle, the puzzle you had to restart a few times because of this hole that you fell down. I don't know if you noticed that it happened in that as well. So in this puzzle, you had to send your little robot off to go through a tunnel to push a rock down for you to climb up to go up. If you tried to fly straight up that particular...
Yeah.
The wind was there as well, so it seems to only...
But there's a barrier. They were using it as a barrier, and I know that they used it as a barrier in certain places.
It just
and
seems
I
strange.
didn't have a problem with that. What I had a problem with was this situation where it tried to force you just to jump rather than to fly. What's the point? Giving someone a tool and then taking it away in such an arbitrary manner. That's the problem that I have with it. Not that I had to jump it. It's that it's the arbitrariness of it. It just seems like bad design. A poor design choice, not...
I think, again, it's that point, isn't it? Game designers learning how to do it.
Yeah.
But equally...
We're past that point now.
Yeah.
And actually, if it was happening we don't necessarily have to bash it, but one of the things in ukulele, which we took upon... I thought you were being nice to the developers.
I'm just playing a Raspberry.
Oh, right, okay. All right, fair. Ukulele, one of the things that is a problem with it is its arbitrary use of its tools. So there are a couple of ways to break glass in ukulele. One of them is with a sonar tool, and one of them, I think, is by rolling into glass cubes.
Oh, I don't remember to that level, to be honest.
Okay.
It's also more impact.
There are sheets of glass and there are cubes of glass.
Right.
And there are times when hitting the sheets of glass with sonar is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And there are times when bashing it or rolling into it is what you're supposed to do. But the game
didn't tell you which was correct for that situation.
Because it hasn't chosen its design language properly. It's decided that at some points you're going to have to roll into them, and at some points you're going to have to use your sonar. It really should have just been straight down the line. If the glass is sheets, then it's sonar. If the glass is cubes, then roll. Yeah. Or whatever. That sort of streamlined game design, it makes choices in the game intuitive, rather than whatever the opposite of intuitive is.
Unintuitive?
Iterative, like having to go through, try different things. My natural assumption, if I came up against something that had worked in the past but isn't working here, would be that it can't be done.
Yeah. Because there were a couple of times linked to this point that there were walls that Tails could walk behind.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that actually. That was bad design choice.
Because the walls themselves blended in completely with the areas around them.
And
so there was no sign given to say you could walk behind this wall, but you couldn't walk behind this wall.
No, and it's not... So the thing that I linked it to was actually the Sonic games. So in Sonic games, there are secret spaces in some of the walls.
Yes.
Secret cavities, and you might find life in there, or you might find some extra rings, or you might find a bonus stage.
Whereas in this, it was integral to get through the level,
yes,
wasn't it?
Exactly.
It was where you had to go.
Part of the path that the designers wanted you to go through. But I was certain, before you said... I was in a pit.
Yes.
I was in a pit with a spring in the middle of it. And the spring was telling me, as a gamer, the spring was saying, you're going up now. You've got to go up. So I was jumping on this spring trying to get up. And actually the wind was blowing me
it was.
back down.
Wind again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was stopping me from going up. And at no point did it really occur to me to try and break the boundaries of this pit.
Well, because why would you?
Yeah, exactly. The walls looked like solid walls. The same walls that had been solid elsewhere in the game were solid here. And it was only when you said to me, try walking through one of those walls, that I did. And then I thought, that
silly
is wrong. Yeah. It's just wrong. If it was a secret area, like in Sonic games, then I understand, because it's rewarding your sense of exploration, your ability to... Sonic games never did it good, though. That's the thing.
What do you mean? Explain that.
So, Sonic games, they did just have these, fairly arbitrary spaces that you had to find, and if you knew where they were, great. If you didn't, then you might happen upon them by accident and remember afterwards.
And what's the problem with that, then?
There was no telegraphing. There was no conversation with the player. So if you go to some of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, their level design clued you in to certain places being secret areas. You might have a little nick out of a tiny little nick that you have to notice, or you might have a certain way that a pit is shaped that suggests to you this might be safe to go down. This might be rewarding to try and get into. And I think Super Mario World as well, one of the things that I remember is with the switches, there was a level where once you turned the green switch on in Super Mario World, you had these little triangular green blocks, and if you ran at them fast, you could run off the wall. Yeah. So you went through this level that you saw these triangular green blocks that you didn't know what to do with yet, and you saw as well the outlines of the as yet unturned on green switches.
Still a dotted outline, wasn't there?
Yeah. So you make a mental note of that.
Let's come back to that later.
I'm going to turn the green switch on. I'm going to come back, and maybe there'll be something there. You then, after that level, you learn how to use those little green triangles to make you run up walls. So you're equipped over a period of time with all the information and knowledge that you need to then go to put two and two together and go back to that level and find a secret key and a secret doorway.
Whereas in Sonic,
there was none of that in Sonic. There was no keying in, no cluing in.
It's a fair point. Yeah, I will stand with you on that one.
Whereas maybe Mario never did it in the first level. So in Super Mario Bros., the first game on the NES, you could, in the underground levels, you could jump up and over
run along
and go down and skip whole worlds. Didn't really clue you into that.
How did you find out about that? Was it?
I think
from your friends sort of
No, I think it was just testing the boundaries of the game.
Really?
So you know that you can break blocks, and the roof is made of blocks.
It is.
So the start of that journey of finding things out is getting to a point where you can break the blocks in the roof to then skip the level by running along the roof to the very end.
So I only said because it was, I mentioned my childminder previously who I played on the NES in her bedroom, and it was her son who said, oh yeah, you can go up there, and it just made me think it's one of those things that would be like an urban myth.
Oh yeah, it definitely will have spread that way.
Percolated through the world.
Yeah, but equally I think that you naturally, once you start to test the boundaries of the game in that way, you might accidentally happen upon that.
And in that example of Mario, that rewarded you for doing that because you came to those warp pipes, didn't you, to skip ahead?
To different worlds. You could get through the game very quickly, all the way to the end of the game. But it didn't clue you in the same way that I'm saying that Sonic didn't necessarily clue you in. There were clues there in some ways, but not obvious ones. Mario, though, learned from those situations, and as it moved forward, it iterated. So Super Mario World dealt with it differently, and then New Super Mario Bros. Deals with it differently again. Sonic, and this is one of the problems that I've outlined to you about Sonic anyway, Sonic is stuck where it always has been. It's the only time that I feel like Sonic has made a huge leap forward was Sonic Mania.
Yes.
And that was made by people, that was made by fans.
Yeah.
People who know why the game was good. It's the first one I enjoyed.
That at the moment there has been no announcement of a Sonic Mania 2. I'm very surprised there hasn't been an announcement of a Sonic Mania 2 because of how well received Sonic Mania was. I really hope that would happen.
I think it will happen. Something's going to happen with that particular team. They deserve it, if nothing else, because they've revitalised Sonic. There is a whole other conversation that, again, we will have to have when Sonic comes around about Sonic Mania and Super Mario Odyssey and the different trajectories that the games have taken with their histories.
I think Kotaku did an article.
I think they did, but we had that conversation prior.
Yeah.
I outlined
we did it first.
We did genuinely. I outlined it all to you by text message or something like that. Yeah. And then a few months later, I sent you the same article on Kotaku. I
remember it well.
Yeah.
Maybe they're listening to conversations. Yeah, you should.
No, I don't think they are. But it makes a lot of sense, and we'll get to it with Sonic. We should do Sonic soon, I feel.
I've been holding off Sonic because I think it's an obvious choice.
It's an obvious choice.
Yeah. We did Gremlins 2 instead.
Huh?
We did Gremlins 2 instead.
You want to wait till you find out what we've got next.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah.
Well, shall we wrap up Tales of Adventure?
Yeah. So the question is, would we recommend that game to people now?
I would. Watching you play it again then, I really enjoyed seeing it again. The music was quite a trigger for me because I could remember the tunes of some of the levels, which was a really nice memory for me. As I said...
Who are you recommending it to then? People that have played it in the past? Because that is all nostalgia driven.
It is. I think, use that term again, Metroidvania fans, if you have enjoyed that type of game, I think this is a game that you would similarly enjoy.
I would recommend it to people that are interested in the history of games.
Yeah, as I was saying that, I was thinking in my head, actually, I'm going to rephrase that. If you enjoy Metroidvania games, it will be worth visiting as a...
To see where they were at some point.
Exactly, to see where they started.
Not started.
No.
But
not
where
started.
They were at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's who's interested in this game.
Yeah.
Or Sonic fans, to see, because one of the best things about Sonic is all of the oddities around it. So you said about the gems.
The Sonic Gems collection, which is at times quite the trawl because there are some...
Yeah, because they're odd.
Yeah, there are some odd things on there.
But I think that is the best side of Sonic. I've got the other collection probably a couple of times. I've got it on the GameCube. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I've got several of the games on various of the consoles. So I own Sonic all left, right and centre. What I don't own is those weird side projects like the Mean Bean Machine, and I would probably own that somewhere, but I didn't go out looking for it, and maybe I should have. Yeah. And this is in that category. This is a quirk of Sonic. This is Sonic going somewhere else.
Yeah, it is, because I think if you had a Game Gear when these came out and you were a Sonic fan, you would have probably gone for Sonic 1, Sonic 2, maybe Sonic Triple Trouble. There was Sonic Chaos as well. That was another Sonic platformer that came out for the Game Gear.
Right. That quite well...
Sonic Chaos was brilliant.
Yeah.
Whereas Tales of Adventure, possibly a little bit more niche.
Yeah. People still would have gone for it, though, because they recognise, because of brand recognition, wouldn't they? So Sonic fans would have gone for... And actually, that's something that we didn't quite come to, because you said some interesting things about reviews. You said that the reviewers, at the time, they slated the game because they said it was too safe or something.
At the time, they said that it was unoriginal and slow.
Which I totally disagree with.
Really?
Frankly, yeah. Not the slow bit, necessarily, but it's in relation to Sonic, isn't it? So they've got used to Sonic being this blazing fast...
Cool.
To its detriment, actually. Too fast.
In your opinion.
In my opinion, whatever. They've got used to Sonic being this one thing, and they are presented with a situation where he's not that thing. And I think their brain is struggling to get around that. I don't think they're right. And I think that I'd be very interested to know what those same reviewers thought now, looking back.
That's what I thought of Mario Kart. You know, Mario's quite slow and plodding, and then suddenly he's in a car going quite fast.
Yeah. I imagine that they would have balked at it. They feel like very conservative reviewers. Because that game, it's not a bad game by any means. The slowness is more contemplative. There are puzzles in that game in the way that there aren't puzzles, particularly in Sonic. And it's not about getting through the level fast. It's about thinking your way through the level.
Exploring it, just enjoying the atmosphere of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So who would you recommend it to then?
I think, as I say, I'd recommend it to people that are particularly into Metroidvania type games or Sonic games, or anyone that's really trying to delve deeply into games history. I think that's who I'd recommend it to. I don't think it's a blanket. This is a fun game.
This for everyone.
Here you go. Slap it on a mobile.
We'll have a look at the price of it and discuss if it is worth the price of it or not.
Why is it available?
Yeah, it came on 3DS.
Oh, of course, yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the 3DS store is still up and running.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's part of the eShop, I think. So we're safe on that. That would be an interesting look, because if it's, do you want to put a price on it now?
Just how much? I think it's going to be $6.99.
Right. I hope
£6.99 sterling.
Yes.
So what's that in dollars?
It's about $5,
something like that. No, it's a bit more.
At this rate,
$9. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Because we are reaching parity with the euro at the moment.
Reaching peak Brexit at the moment.
Oh, yeah. It might shoot up. Might be that £6.99 is about, what, $10?
$1. I don't know how it'll go.
No, I don't.
No one knows where it'll go.
No.
So how much, at the moment, let's get away from politics.
Yeah.
At the moment, how much do you think it will be?
I would hope that it would be about £3.50.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything cheaper?
Yeah, it's a bite size. It's bite size, isn't it?
Okay. We'll find out.
I think it will. Sega aren't that bad with pricing, I don't think. I think that
they do nice things like, for Sonic 1, didn't they do that thing where they added, was it a 3D effect to it or something bizarre when it came out on the
3DS?
Switch? On 3DS, of course, yeah, it wouldn't be on the Switch, but on 3DS.
Yeah, I think they did. There were a few games that they did.
Yeah.
Nintendo did Excite Bike for some reason. Surely no one was going back to play Excite Bike.
You hope not.
£3.50. If it was £3.50, I could recommend it to people with certain interest, happily. Any more than that, and
really?
Not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay. I was going to say thank you for bringing that game.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was genuinely
as a light.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Yeah.
When you put that.
Because you thought Sonic forward. No. And
not just that, I was surprised that you brought a Game Gear game.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I shouldn't have been surprised because it's your thing, isn't it, Game Gear?
My first
just
console.
Because I didn't think that you would put my electricity bill through such a workout. Yeah. Yeah, sorry for that. I'll pay you back. It's okay.
I'll buy Tales of Adventure if it's
£3.
$6.99.
Oh, $6.99 or lower.
Oh no, I should have gone $3.50, shouldn't I?
Yeah, it's too late now. It's too late now.
Can
I swap it in for a different game?
Nope.
Oh.
Tales of Adventure or nothing.
I'm not sure I want it. Okay. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ashley.
See you later.
This Gameware is a Specky 2 Guys production. Music for the episode is provided under Creative Commons license by Steviosphere from the album Cell Division, which can be found at steviosphere.bandcamp.com.